Thank you for taking time today to connect and to reset with journaling. We're going to spend our time today exploring how to move you forward in a way that's going to help you flourish. Our goal is to help you begin to feel a sense of agency and some critical hope through our prompts and journaling exercises together. We hope that these will be a couple of tools that you may consider continuing to use as you move forward through these times of great challenge. To start, to ground ourselves, I'm going to ask you to join me in a breathing exercise. I'm going to ask that you try to get yourself distraction-free, put yourself centered, feet directly on the ground, and we're going to take a few very deep breaths where we get a chance to both inhale and exhale. I'm going to ask with each breath that we inhale for a count of 3 and exhale for a count of 5. So let's do 3 of these together right now. We're going to inhale very deeply, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second breath, inhale, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time, inhale, 2, 3, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the first part of our journaling together, I'm going to ask you to start thinking about your feelings. Sometimes when we are experiencing a great deal of distress or uncertainty at work, it's helpful to remember that our feelings are not actually us. One way of thinking about our feelings is that our emotions are a horse, and we are the rider of that horse. There might be a moment that the horse sees a mouse on the path and rears up and almost throws you off, but you are the rider. You can tap your heels and steady and say, it's okay, we're going to keep going. It's a mouse, and you've got this. Anthony DeMello, an author that we love here at Work Wisdom, also encourages us to say, I'm experiencing anxiety rather than I'm anxious, or I'm experiencing depression rather than I'm depressed. Feelings are like weather. They roll in and they roll out. All of this helps us to compartmentalize so we can, just like that horse and rider, figure out a reasonable path forward. So, now that you've thought about this horse and the weather, I'd like you to take a few minutes in your journals and start writing about the emotions that you would say are most present right now. What are those emotions that you are most experiencing in this moment? Now, as you look back on what you've journaled with those emotions, I want you to think about being in a helicopter. You're going to slowly be flying straight up and even farther up. And when you get up to the top, you can look down and you see lots of farms. When you look out over these farms, you notice that some of them are nice and square and some of them are different shapes. And they're all different shades of browns and greens, lots of colors. You notice a few of them look pretty dried out, like maybe they need a little love, some seed or an irrigation system. But then you also notice that a couple of them are so lush and green and verdant. They appear to be creating excellent fruit, whatever that fruit may be. I want you to think about your work life represented by all of these farms. You have so many farms in your work life. Some of them might be different projects you're managing right now. Some of them might be your relationships with colleagues or key partners. Some may be ideas that you're incubating on goals or places that you're looking for innovation. So I want you now to take some time in your journal and start thinking about what are those farms? What are those projects, people, tangibles, goals that are part of your farm system right now? Hopefully, you've had some time to consider lots and lots of examples of those farms. And I want you to go back to those pages now that you've journaled about your farms. And I want you to identify what are one or two of those that you believe are the most fruitful. Maybe you're even surprised at how healthy they look. Go back to that list and identify where are those projects, farms that are doing the best for you, that are the most fruitful right now. Now that you have those selected, I'm going to ask you two questions as prompts for our next journaling exercise. I want you to think about those lush farms. What did you do to make that farm so lush? What did you do that made that go so well? This could be a behavior, a habit, a certain decision, a mindset. What do you do that contributes to the success of that farm? And at the same time, I want you to also consider, is there anything that you have stopped doing or saying or thinking that actually positively contributed to the success of that farm? So think about what you do to contribute to its success, and think about, is there anything you've stopped doing that's contributing to that success? Take some time with both of those questions in your journal now. As you look back on these two journal prompt questions and your responses, I hope you're now seeing what, in short, is a recipe list. It's your keeper recipe box, the kind of recipes that you can take out of the box over and over, and it makes that magic sauce or cookie dough and never fails. Now that you have those, let's climb back into the helicopter. From way up there, you're back looking down on all those farms. You see the one that's sparkling that you've just taken some time to journal about. But now you also notice from your original list the ones that just aren't looking so great. I want you to think now, what are those moments in your farms that represent in your work life what needs work? Now I'd like you to go back to that recipe list, the things that you are doing or dropping to flourish. When you look at those ingredients, can you look at them and imagine how you could cut and paste any of those actions, any of those ingredients onto the farm that needs help and needs some care? Think about that list. What can you glean as ideas from your recipe strategies that could potentially help that farm? Take some time and think on that. Recognizing that you are gaining all of this insight and wisdom from yourself, I want you to think about that farm that needs help. And I want you to start as concretely and succinctly as possible. Develop some action items. What could you start or stop doing that will bring this fruit, this farm, to fruition? What would be that first item, that second action step? Start actually listing them out as concretely as possible. First thing, second thing, and so on. I hope this journaling exercise has helped inspire you to find hope. Thank you so much for taking this time together. And please know that here at Work Wisdom, we absolutely believe in you and your success.